Hi guys, and welcome to another Scrappy Mess process video. This week I'm doing a process video on a Project Life layout. This is a bit unusual for me because Project Life is something relatively new to me. This is only about probably my 15th Project Life layout. So yeah, I'm still learning and experimenting, I suppose. It's hard for me to kind of get the idea of working in such a small format. I mean, I know it's a 12 by 12 layout in the sense when it's finished, but you work on each card individually, and that small space is really hard for me to get a grasp of. But I found this to be a really good format to do my son's first year album in because I can get so many more photos scrapbooked and so much more of the story told. So I really like this for my son's album, although I am only up to week 10 and he is now in his 18th week, so I'm a little bit behind. Anyway, what I'm doing right now is sewing around the edge of all the cards, and this is something I do with everything, regardless of whether it's a scrapbook layout or a Project Life layout. It's just my personal touch, I guess. I don't feel like it's finished until I've added some stitching, and I know it takes so much longer. It'd probably be easier if I didn't have that little extra bit to do, but that's alright. I keep my sewing machine on my table anyway, so it's always there and ready to go. And yeah, so this week I've used, instead of using 3x4 cards that were pre-made, I've actually cut my own from the Creative Boys Rule collection. This is not a baby collection at all, it's designed for older boys, but I really like the bright colours. It doesn't bother me one bit because I'm not a really super baby coloured person. The pastels and light blues, that's not really me. So the brighter colours really worked. I'm just making my title card from, so excuse my voice this week. I'm actually just getting over a cold, so hence the raspy voice. Anyway, I'm making a title card from one of the 3x4 cards, and I'm using some chipboard thickers from Maybe Tangerine and some chipboard stickers from Maybe Tangerine. I'm not sure what lines they're from. I have absolutely no idea. Sorry about that. One thing that frustrates me about titles is I always stick them down, and I reckon I move them at least 5 times before I find the right placement, which you'll see in this video, and I didn't cut it out because, hey, it's part of my process. I move stuff a lot, and even when I think I've moved it to the right spot, I move it again. So I think this is where I moved it again, and I guarantee you this is not where it ends up. So I did move it a lot. It wasn't quite working for me, so I think at this stage I wasn't quite sure, but I just moved on anyway in the hope that it would come to me. That's one good thing about those particular brand letter stickers, is they are quite easy to move. This big jar of bits and pieces is all stuff from the Create Paper Boys Rule collection. I think I got just about every embellishment pack in the collection, so I had heaps of stuff, and I've got it all in the jar, and I don't usually tip it all out on my desk, but I couldn't find the bits I wanted, and I knew I was going to get a few things out of the jar, so I just tipped it all out. I'm not usually a messy scrapbooker like that, but hey, it worked for me for this particular layout. Oh yeah, that is where I just moved the 10 on my title thing again. And right now I'm adding some mist dots from the Heidi Swapp Colour Shine Black Velvet, which is my favourite mist, and I've used it on other process videos, which I'm sure you've noticed. It just does the best mist dots. It's like a perfect consistency to get really nice splatters. When I put the photo over the top, I realised on this particular card that the dots weren't going to show, so I added some more and then kept it to the side because they were quite wet, as Colour Shine is a very wet mist, so it doesn't dry as quickly as some others. Like the Dylusions one, I've noticed, does dry very quickly, whereas the Colour Shine tends to sit on top of the page. These are the Simple Stories DIY stickers. They're awesome for Project Life because they've got the perfect quotes to add to pictures, and because they're a translucent backing, they kind of look like a rub-on unless you look really close, and then you can tell they're a sticker. I have used these heart stickers to death, and I honestly need some more because they are so cool. And these Kaiser Craft rhinestones, I have them out mainly because Nay is my inspiration and she uses them all the time, and I honestly have about 20,000 packets of those from back in the day when I first started scrapbooking, and I for some reason just left them in a packet and didn't use them. So I have tons. So now's a good time to get them out and start using them before I forget. They're a bit like an enamel dot but more of a bling. So I'm just adding little bits and pieces to the cards. This is the bit I struggle with because I'm so used to working in a larger format. So this is hard for me to get my head around, but I'm getting there. I had to add a tiny word sticker. I'm a big word sticker fan. I love them. Those ones are from Studio Calico Wonderlust, I think. I also really like the print shop ones, but I've misplaced my sheet of those. I'm rather devastated. I can't get enough word stickers, honestly. I wish more companies would bring out more. I love them to bits. And that was some gold dot vellum from an older Dear Lizzie range, and it is my favourite piece, and I'm hoping that the My Mind's Eye one from the new range is similar because I love it and you can't buy that particular vellum anymore. And the flare is from October Afternoon. I can't remember which line it's from. That I don't know, but anyway, it says fun. That particular day, my son was being super smiley, and that week 10 I think was around the time that he really started to smile a lot, so that was fun that day. He smiles heaps now. Every time we look at him he's smiling. He's a super smiley baby. I'm not sure where this washi tape's from. I have so much washi tape and I have no idea. I think this might have been from my term at Delish Scraps, and I got a few washi tapes then. More vellum. Vellum's my favourite. And I think I've used some. I don't know if I kept that on there or not, but anyway, I ended up stitching this card down because I didn't want to use too many staples in the layout. And if you have it, yeah, maybe I did use a staple. I love my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and before I bought it I honestly thought what was the big hype about because it's just another stapler, but it is super awesome and has tiny staples. I know you can probably get cheaper versions of it, but I just really like the whole ergonomic handle on the Tim Holtz one, and it wasn't that expensive, so I mean it's probably dearer than the cheap ones you get at the stationery store, but I just love it. These are my favourite at the moment. They're the Simple Stories DIY label stickers, and they are also awesome for Project Life, for adding little bits of journaling. I find them really great just to add little notes to a photo, which is what I'm doing here. I'm really trying to add more of the story as much as I can because this is my son's first year album and he does so many new things every week, and it's hard sometimes even to remember what happened last week, so I'm really trying to get as much of that in his book as I can because I really it's so easy to forget. I'm just sifting through my big pile of embellishments trying to find ones that suit. These are vellum stars that they had in the collection. I really like the vellum pieces. And more rhinestones, because you can't have enough bling, even on a boy page. It's funny actually because I thought having a boy that I would find it really hard to scrapbook because, you know, we can, but I mean, it looks funny, I think, in my album to use pink and flowers, but I've never really been a pink flowery scrapbooker anyway, so I really enjoy using the bright, bold boy colours and stars and other things like that because I guess I've always gone for those things anyway. those chipboard letters were actually raw chipboard, so I ended up outlining them just to make them pop a little bit more so they didn't look so plain. And the letter stickers from Mommy Tangerine had a bit of a sketchy pattern on them, so I tried to replicate that on the thickers. The black pen that I use is an Artline fine tip one. I am interested to see or to have a try of the Project Life brand ones though, just to see if they're any better. I really do need to find a good black pen. I found a good black mist and I need to find a good black pen. This is the black ink I use. It's a hard, I think they call it, it's a dye ink. I'm not very good with inks, but I think it's a dye ink. But it's good for stamping, but not so much for inking, like around the edges of things, because it's hard. It's not like a soft pad. Just adding more journaling spots from Simple Stories. My favourite hearts and some more bling. And I'm just going to add a little bit of journaling on this one as well, because my son loves his swing, although I am doing this video in his 18th week and he no longer really fits in that swing. That's how much he has grown. So he doesn't, we've put that swing away now, but back then he did really enjoy being in the swing. So this is the point where I'm kind of pondering what to do next, and the mist was still a little bit wet, but it was dry enough to be able to put a photo down so I could sort of work out what I needed to do to finish that particular bit of my layout. These are really old stickers. I think they're from Pebbles Ink and they're quite old, but I still really like them. They're like a Dymo typewriter type font sticker. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to find something. I can't even remember what I ended up doing on that bottom card, but it wasn't that. I did music on my last process video about a week ago, and I really should have been doing music this week instead, because I am honestly really struggling. My partner's lost his voice completely, so the house has been really quiet. So, but I've still got my voice, but my throat feels like barbed wire. It's horrible. This particular paper from the Grip Paper range had like a circular graph pattern, so I followed the line, one of the lines, and wrote my journaling along there. It's really cool to find interesting ways to journal. I think that's a lot of fun, especially because handwritten journaling really is a phobia of mine. I hate my handwriting so much, and so I try to be as creative as I can to make it not so obvious that my writing is disgusting. I wish I had nice handwriting, I really did, but it just doesn't happen. I try my hardest to be neat and perfect, but hey, I think if I had handwritten notes from my mum, that would be extremely special. So I try to think of it that way and think that when he gets older, he'll really enjoy having those handwritten notes from me. I don't know if boys actually really care about that kind of stuff. Maybe not until they get like a lot older, but as a teenager he probably won't really care. Or maybe he will. I don't know. I grew up in a family of girls, so I have no idea what boys are like and whether they're really sentimental or not. Maybe I'll teach him to be. He can scrapbook with mum. Yeah, so there you go. I ended up adding a moustache. Now that's a wood veneer from Bow Bunny, and they are quite thick, those wood veneers, but they're really cute. They came with moustaches and like glasses. Okay, this is the end, and I'm just showing you a close-up, kind of. You can see that. So thank you so much for watching. Bye!